A very good morning to all. Today we are going to continue with our fourth chapter from the subject thermal engineering, that is steam turbines. So in the previous two lectures we have covered the nozzle related part, and since there are very few points related with steam nozzles, that part we have already completed, and now we are going to start with the steam turbines. So there are a few points which are related with both the theory part as well as we are also having the same theoretical part in practical also. So we are going to cover the theory as well as practical part in the same lecture. First of all, we will just see what is the title related with the steam turbines for the practicals. So here you can see the 8th experiment from thermal engineering, which is assembly and dismantling of impulse and reaction turbines. So we will just go through the practical significance also. The steam turbines are important device in thermal engineering. Steam turbines are employed as the prime movers together with the electric generators in thermal and nuclear power plants to produce electricity. They are also used to propel large ships, ocean liners, submarines, and to drive power absorbing machines like large compressors, blowers, fans, and pumps. So this was the practical significance related with the 8th experiment. Now before going to study the details regarding the impulse and reaction turbine, or what are the various components associated with these types of turbines, we will start right from the definition of steam turbine, then we will see the classification of steam turbine, and then we will study the details regarding the impulse turbine and reaction turbine. We are also having the models of impulse turbine and reaction turbine in our lab, and when we are going to study the details regarding impulse and reaction turbine, I will show you those models. Along with this, at the end of this practical, you should also attempt all the questions which they have given in the manual under practical related questions. So there might be 4 to 5 questions based on the steam turbines, whatever we are going to study during this lecture. So just after going through this lecture, you should attempt all those questions. So now we will start with the actual part, that is steam turbines. You can see in the figure, these two figures are representing the steam turbines. So we are going to study in detail. Now let's start with the definition of steam turbine. So steam turbine is a prime mover in which a rotary motion is obtained by the gradual change of momentum of the steam. We are also having another definition for the same, that is a steam turbine is a device that extracts the thermal energy from pressurized steam and uses it to do mechanical work on a rotating output shaft. So in the basic thermal power plant work, we have studied that in case of boilers, we are generating the high pressurized steam, and this pressure is then allowed to flow through the nozzle where we are increasing the kinetic energy of that steam, and finally this steam is then forced on the steam turbines, as a result of which we are going to obtain the mechanical energy. So this mechanical energy can be utilized for various applications, just like generating electricity. Okay, so this was the definition of steam turbine. Now we will see the classification of steam turbines. As you can see in the slide, we can classify the steam turbine based on various parameters. So the first one is according to the working principle. We are having 3 types, that is impulse turbine, reaction turbine, and impulse reaction turbine. The next type of classification is according to the number of stages of expansion of steam, and the first one is single stage turbine and the other one is multi-stage turbine. Then the next classification is according to the position of shaft axis, and under this point we are having horizontal axis turbine, and vertical axis turbine. So when we are going to study related the working and the construction of steam turbines, so in that you will understand what is the meaning of this single stage or multi-stage, then what is the meaning of horizontal axis and vertical axis turbine. Then again we are going to study in detail regarding the impulse turbine and reaction turbine, and that is the reason why I am not discussing in depth in this classification only. So we'll see the next classification. The next classification is according to the nature of steam supply. So we are having again two types, that is high pressure turbine and the other one is low pressure turbine. The next classification is according to direction of steam flow, and we are having three types again, that is axial flow turbine, radial flow turbine and tangential flow turbine. And the last type of classification is according to exhaust steam pressure, and in that we are having condensing type steam turbine and non-condensing type steam turbine. So this was all related with the classification of steam turbines. In the next slide, we will study the particular details regarding the construction and working of an impulse turbine. Here we are having the impulse turbine. So you can observe in both the figures, and we will see now what is the construction and how the impulse turbine actually works. So on the right hand side you can see the working of an impulse turbine, and we will understand the construction first for impulse turbine. So basically the impulse turbine consists of one set of nozzle which is then followed by one set of moving blades as shown in the first figure. In impulse turbine, the power is basically developed by the impulsive force or high velocity steam jets, and thus we are having the name for this type of turbine as impulse turbine. आता बघा जर आपण कन्स्ट्रक्शन इम्पल्स टर्बाइनचं कन्सिडर केलं तर जसं म्हटलं दोन सेट्स असणार आहेत. ठीक आहे, यू कॅन जस्ट रेफर टू दिस डायग्राम ॲज टू वर्टिकल कॉलम्स. सो इन द फर्स्ट सेट, पहिल्या सेट मध्ये तुम्हाला एक नोझल दिसेल. ओके, आणि दुसऱ्या सेट मध्ये काय आहे तर मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्स आहेत. तर हीच डायग्राम तुम्ही राईट साइडला सुद्धा कम्पेअर करू शकता. तुम्हाला एक नोझल दिसेल ज्याच्यामधून हाय वेलॉसिटी स्टीम जी आहे ती त्या ब्लेड्स वरती इम्पिंच केलेली आहे, आणि या हाय वेलॉसिटी स्टीम ब्लेड्स वरती स्ट्राईक झाल्यामुळे ते ब्लेड्स जे आहेत ते रोटेट होत आहेत. आता हे ब्लेड्स जे आहेत ते एका शाफ्टला रिजिडली फिक्स केलेले असतात, त्यामुळे आपला शाफ्ट जो आहे तो रोटेट होणार. पुढे हा शाफ्ट जो आहे तो जनरेटरला कनेक्ट केलाय, आणि त्या शाफ्टच्या रोटेशनमुळे आपल्याला इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट करता येते. तर ह्याच्यामध्ये नेमकं वर्किंग कशा पद्धतीने होणार आहे तर ते आपण बघूया. तर फर्स्ट डायग्रामला कन्सिडर जर तुम्ही केला तर पहिल्या सेटमध्ये नोझल आहे, दुसऱ्या सेटमध्ये आपल्याकडे मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्स आहेत. आता जर बॉटम पार्ट आपण कन्सिडर केलं या डायग्रामचा तर बघा नोझलच्या खाली तुम्हाला काय दिसेल तर लाईन किंवा कर्व 1 2 3 जी आहे ती काय इंडिकेट करते तर ती प्रेशर लाईन आहे, आणि लाईन 5 6 7 8 जी आहे ती वेलॉसिटी इंडिकेट करते. तर बघा जर पहिला सेट आपण कन्सिडर केला म्हणजेच काय तर ज्यावेळी स्टीम त्या नोझल मधून पास होणार आहे त्यावेळी नेमकं काय होणार आहे तर तुम्ही त्या ग्राफ मधून बघून सांगू शकताय की लाईन 1 2 3 4 जी आहे तेव्हा पहिला सेट फक्त आपण कन्सिडर करू, पहिला कॉलम फक्त कन्सिडर करू जिथं फक्त नोझल प्रेझेंट आहे. तर त्या नोझलच्या ठिकाणी ज्यावेळी स्टीम पास होणार आहे त्यावेळेला आपल्याला दिसतंय डायग्राम मध्ये बघा की प्रेशर जे आहे ते ड्रॉप होते, आणि त्याच टायमिंगला वेलॉसिटी जी आहे ती इन्क्रीज होत जाते. म्हणजे जसं प्रेशर ड्रॉप होणार आहे तशी आपली वेलॉसिटी जी आहे ती इन्क्रीज होत जाणार. ठीक आहे, आपण नोझल ज्यावेळी स्टडी केला त्यावेळी आपण हे बघितलेलं आहे ऑलरेडी. नोझल मध्ये आपण कायनेटिक एनर्जी इन्क्रीज करतो. आता ज्यावेळी आपण स्टीमची कायनेटिक एनर्जी इन्क्रीज करतो म्हणजेच आपला पहिला सेट जो आहे किंवा नोझलच्या एंडला जर तुम्ही बघितला तर सगळ्यात मॅक्झिमम वेलॉसिटी असणार आहे. आता ही जी मॅक्झिमम वेलॉसिटी स्टीम ट्रॅव्हल करणार आहे ती आपण कुठं प्रोव्हाइड करतो तर मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्सवर. आता ही हाय वेलॉसिटी स्टीम ज्या वेळेला मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्सला जाऊन स्ट्राईक करणार तर हे स्ट्राईक केल्यानंतर आपले मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्स जे आहेत हे रोटेट व्हायला चालू होणार. ओके, आता ह्या रोटेशनमुळे किंवा हा जो स्टीमचा हाय वेलॉसिटीने इम्पॅक्ट होणार आहे मूव्हिंग प्लेट्स वरती, या इम्पॅक्टमुळे आपल्याला मेकॅनिकल एनर्जी भेटते. रोटेशन ऑफ प्लेट्स जे असणार आहेत ती सुरू होणार. आता ह्याच्यामुळे काय होणार की आपली जी वेलॉसिटी जी आहे ती जसं त्या मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्स मधून स्टीम पास होणार आहे तशी ती वेलॉसिटी आपली डिक्रीज होईल. आता मुव्हिंग ब्लेडच्या सेट मध्ये जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर इन केस ऑफ इम्पल्स टर्बाइन प्रेशर जे असणार आहे ते मुव्हिंग ब्लेड्स मधून ज्यावेळी स्टीम पास होत असते त्यावेळी ती प्रेशर कॉन्स्टंट राहते. तर हा पॉइंट सगळ्यात महत्वाचा तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायचा आहे, कारण पुढे जाऊन आपण ज्यावेळी नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ टर्बाइन बघणार आहे त्यावेळेला हे डिफरन्सेस तुम्हाला माहित पाहिजे. Okay, in case of impulse turbine, we are having two sets, out of which the first set is of nozzle, whereas the other one is moving blades. And in case of nozzle, if we look at the diagram, then we can understand that when the steam is flowing through the nozzle, then the pressure is going to be decreased, whereas the velocity is increasing. And when the same steam with high velocity is passed through the moving blades, then in that case the velocity will go on decreasing, whereas the pressure will remain constant in case of impulse turbine. If we refer to the right hand side diagram, then in that we can see that through the nozzle the steam is forced over the moving blade, and thus mechanical energy is produced, and the same is connected with the generator for producing electricity. So now we will just go through the theory points, or we will just read out all the theory points which we have now studied in the next slide. So as we have seen in the previous slide, the impulse turbine consists of one set of nozzle which is followed by one set of moving blades, again which is shown on the right hand side. So we can see in the diagram that there is only one set, but in the previous slide we have seen on the right hand side where there was the actual working mechanism shown. There we were having 4 sets of moving blades. So depending on the input supply, we can increase that number of moving blades. So in this type of turbine, the power is developed by the impulsive force. The high velocity steam jets are obtained by expansion of steam in the stationary nozzle only, and you can see this in the diagram itself that just below to the nozzle there is only pressure drop in case of the nozzle set, whereas the pressure is constant in the other set. The steam will pass at high velocity through the moving blade with no drop in pressure but a gradual reduction in velocity. That is, if we consider the next set, then the steam will initially flow at high velocity through the moving blades, and since we are converting this energy into mechanical work, that is kinetic energy is utilized to produce the mechanical work. So the kinetic energy will go on decreasing, but at the same time there is no any change in the pressure. Thus, in pure impulse turbine, the high velocity jet having nozzle strikes on the blades mounted on the wheel attached to the shaft, and these blades changes the direction of steam and hence momentum of the jet of steam which rotates the shaft. The nozzle axis is inclined to an angle to the tangent to the rotor. So this was the theoretical part related with the construction and working of impulse turbine. Now we will see what is the construction and working of reaction turbine. So we are having one diagram here. So you can see in case of reaction turbine, we are usually having an alternate series or a set of fixed blades and moving blades. So here you can see we are having one set of fixed blades, whereas the other one is for moving blades. In case of reaction turbine, it is important to note one important parameter, that is if we consider the pressure velocity graph, then in case of reaction turbine, the pressure decreases gradually while expanding through the moving blades as well as through the fixed blades. So this was not the case if we consider the impulse turbine, because there we have seen that the first set was for nozzle whereas the other was for moving blade, and in case of moving blade we have observed that the pressure was constant when the steam was moving through the moving blades. But in case of reaction turbine, here the pressure will go on decreasing, whether it may be fixed blade or it may be moving blade. At both places, the pressure is going to decrease. On the other hand, if we consider the velocity part, then in case of fixed blade, the velocity is going to be increased, whereas in case of moving blades, the velocity will go on decrease. From exam point of view, it is necessary that you should understand this diagram, that is both the types of turbine, impulse turbine, reaction turbine. You should note down that in case of impulse turbine, if we are drawing just two sets, then the first one is for nozzle and the other one is for moving blade, and what are the pressure and velocity variations. Whereas again in case of reaction turbine, the two sets will consist of one set being of fixed blades instead of nozzle, and the other one will be for moving blade. Again, the pressure and velocity variation, you should understand the difference between impulse and reaction turbine. If we are talking about reaction turbine, then the pressure is decreasing for both fixed blade and moving blade, whereas the velocity first increases in fixed blade and then it decreases in case of moving blade. So this is the only important thing that you should mention when you are attempting this question related to reaction turbine or impulse turbine. So now we will just go through the theory part once again. In this type of turbine, there is a gradual pressure drop, and it takes place continuously over the fixed blade and moving blade. That's the point which I was discussing earlier. Then the next point is the function of fixed blade is same as nozzle. So in case of reaction turbine, we are not going to show nozzle anywhere. So in diagram you can see that instead of nozzle we are having here fixed blades. Then the next point is they alter the direction of steam, as well as they allow steam to expand to have greater velocity. As the steam passes over the moving blades, kinetic energy is obtained due to fall in pressure. The steam then again expands while flowing over the moving blades and thus give a reaction to the moving blades. Hence the turbine is known as reaction turbine. Since the pressure drop is gradual, the number of stages required are more for the same power developed. So this was all about a reaction turbine. And now we will also see the models of impulse as well as reaction turbine which are available in the lab. So these diagrams represent the model of impulse turbine. On the left hand side we can observe the casing and the shaft on which the blades are supposed to be mounted, and on the right hand side we can see the front view of the turbine. Just to the left of this turbine, you can also observe one nozzle. So through this nozzle, the high velocity steam jet, it will be forced on this turbine blade, and as a result of this, the turbine blade will start to move. Since these blades are connected to the shaft will also start to rotate, and thus mechanical energy is obtained. So this was regarding the impulse turbine. Now we will also see the model of reaction turbine. So again on the left hand side we can see the casing and the output shaft, and on the right hand side diagram we can observe the front view of this turbine. So in this case we can observe that there is no any nozzle, but instead there are two outlets which can be seen in the second diagram, from where the steam will try to escape out. So since the jet of steam leaving the moving blades is with a very high velocity, it will react on the blades and thus it will turn them around. In this way mechanical energy is obtained. So this was all about the impulse turbine and reaction turbine.